everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Amanda N, and today I wanted to talk just a little bit about cults and communities. So this is going to be a short, semi-unscripted video. I figured better get you something this week than nothing at all. But I've talked about churches becoming like cults before, and the science behind cults has always really been pretty interesting to me. So I've heard it said that whether it's political cults like QAnon or religious ones like Scientology, it's not really the facts that matter, but it's the community and the culture behind them. So I wanted to talk about a few aspects of that, give some examples, and how a cult can sneak up on someone. Even normal people that you might not suspect would become a member of a cult, well, those are exactly the people that cults are trying to target. Normal, average, everyday people. So one of the first examples is love bombing. So soon-to-be members are usually showered with over-the-top displays of attention and affection. According to the Cult Education Institute, this could be any grandiose gesture that might be in cults, might be in relationships, and either way it can be pretty dangerous. Sure, in some cases, maybe someone is just going a bit overboard to win you over, but when they're talking about the future, making all these promises, well, healthy relationships should build on a series of actions, not just immediate promises and a future together and things of that nature that can't really be tested yet. The term love bombing was first used by the Unification Church, who in the 70s had cult leaders using this love as a form of ammunition to con their followers into game-ending themselves and others. So even though we might not think that QAnon or modern dangerous cults follow this, they absolutely do. Messages might just welcome people, but they can also say, oh, hey, welcome to the family, and things of that nature. We've actually seen this with flat earthers too. I'm sure some of you watching might have seen that Netflix documentary, Behind the Curve, and it really shows me how welcoming the community might be, how loving they might appear, but at the same time, that's kind of the worrying aspect, because you wouldn't want to turn against your own family, you wouldn't want to turn against your own friends. And many people that do that, whether it's because they are coming out as a flat earther, will do it because they have a whole other family supporting them. Maybe you're rejecting those that you love and care about, but it could just be for this promise of new love, if that makes sense. This new community that says, welcome to our family, you're part of something bigger than yourself. I think just about anyone, including, normal people that cults prey upon, want to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. They want to feel like they're making an impact and making a difference. And cults are really good at leading you to believe that you're doing that. With Jehovah's Witnesses, for example, there's the whole, 144,000 people go to heaven and then others are reincarnated on earth. I'm not going to pretend to understand that number, but it's being part of an exclusive number, whether it's the exact 144,000 or being part of an exclusive, loving community. With flat earthers, they've said everyone has their place here, and in the Behind the Curve documentary, I remember from the convention that they put on, there was this one guy, and he built flat earth globes, and he said, this is my way of giving back. He felt like he was giving back to something greater than himself, I'm sure. And with QAnon people, I don't want to go too deep into that at all, frankly, but I'm sure that they feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. In their minds, they're protecting American democracy when nothing could be further than the truth for any of it. And the really big reason why I actually wanted to make this video is to say that cults can seem positive and accepting against other cults, if that makes sense. So to escape one cult that's negative and, I guess, unaccepting, you may escape to a cult that is positive and accepting. So let me give the example that I heard. So I found this on Rolling Stone's website, and it says, in 1985, 22-year-old aspiring filmmaker Will Allen joined a community called Buddhafield at the suggestion of his sister, after his family didn't accept him when he came out as gay. For 22 years, Alan documented life inside the cult as the videographer. The resulting 35 hours of footage comprises the basis of the documentary Holy Hell, which provides audiences with an intimate look at his life inside the non-traditional community. In the beginning, at least, it appeared that Budefield was attempting to revive the 19th century concept of a utopian community, a group of people living together working towards enlightenment. The leader, Michael Rostand, kept his followers focused on healthy living. No alcohol, drugs, caffeine, or red meat, along with mandatory exercise, abstaining from sex, and meditating frequently. The group appeared to be a positive force on its members, yet the documentary tells a story of a sexual, psychological, and emotional abuse that allegedly took place behind the scenes at Budefield. On the surface, it looked like Alan found his place in a group of happy, healthy, like-minded individuals, but underneath the community had problematic secrets. There's been no shortage of similar communities in America that came together under shared beliefs and the goal of enlightenment, yet few end up the subject of high-budget exposés. So what's the difference? That's from the Rolling Stone. I found it really interesting because it might seem as if, oh, cults are going to be turning you against everybody immediately, that they're this instant thing. They don't come across that way. They're very slow. They're very manipulative. It's one step at a time. And the first thing is so loving, so welcoming. And you wouldn't think that. You'd think that cults are evil and wicked and horrible, but they take their time in being that way, and I found that pretty interesting. The other example that I can think of is MLMs. I've done quite a bit of research on MLMs for my other job, and a lot of MLMs are so welcoming and so loving because, well, frankly, they're a lot like pyramid schemes, and they rely on you to recruit others, to make it seem like this is a fantastic experience. How could you not want to be a part of this? We're part of this great company. We're all going to become independently wealthy. And then, of course, if you start to fail, if you start to lose that downline, if you're unable to sell, if you're unable to recruit, then they slowly get more and more nasty and demanding and, well, you just don't want it enough. So I feel like cults are fantastic at shifting blame onto you, all while pretending to love you. It's just an interesting concept to me. I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I think too often we associate cults with, oh, these people have crazy beliefs, but in actuality, I think a lot of cults are just people wanting friends, wanting relationships, wanting these communities, and turning to some really unhealthy alternatives to get it. But that's just a little bit of perspective about cults. I just wanted to talk about that a bit today. And next week should be a little bit more of a scripted video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of cults, and if there's any specific cults that you think really go hard on this love bombing. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye, guys!